fresh from her performances at CMA Fest and Americana Fest in the US, rising Brisbane-based country singer Tyla Rodrigues is back with her brand new single, By the Time It's Over, that I played just a few seconds ago, which is a sensational follow-up to her breakout track Hot and Heavy that climbed to number 14 on the Country Town chart. Tyla is a remarkable talent in the realm of old-school country music, and she has already carved out a name for herself with her soulful voice, heartfelt lyrics and captivating stage presence. Her debut EP, Upon Reflection, that was released last year, amassed close to 1 million streams, and she's now set to perform at some of Australia's biggest festivals in 2026, including the Tamworth Country Music Festival, CMC Rocks and the Howland Country Festival. Born and raised with a deep appreciation for traditional country sounds, Tyla has managed to blend the timeless essence of the genre with her own soulful style. There can be no doubt that Tyla is well and truly on the road to success, and I, for one, will be watching her progress with great interest because I firmly believe we have by no means heard the last of this very talented young lady. I've spoken on the phone with Tyla a couple of times before. Oh, excuse me, and I'm absolutely delighted to have her standing by on the phone again, waiting to have another chat with me. So let's bring her on air right now without any further delay. Hello, Tyla. How are you today?
Well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. A great day here in Melbourne. Gorgeous. We don't get that many of them, so we celebrate them when we do get them.
I was going to say, it's glad to hear that for Melbourne. It's sunny up here in Brisbane too, that's for sure. The humidity is through the roof.
Nice. It's always nice up in, every time I've been to Brisbane, it's always been nice, so I love it up there. It's a great place, and I don't get to visit it often enough, in my opinion. So there you go. Alrighty. Look, welcome to the Country Club. It's always great to have you on the show. And this particular song of yours, By the Time It's Over, that I played just a while ago. Tell us the story behind that great new single of yours. Did you write that alone, or was it a co-write?
Well, thank you, first of all. And actually, this song is my first-born Nashville song, baby. I went over and did my first ever trip in June of this year. I was lucky enough to be part of CMA Fest and play my debut there. And while I was over there, I was part of a few different rides, and I got to be part of a Song Hubs event too, which is kind of like a writers' camp with many very well-established songwriters in Nashville, so I felt very lucky to be part of it. And By the Time It's Over was written with Jesse and Jordan Dozzi, so siblings who actually were born and raised here in Brisbane, Australia, and moved over to Nashville, I think about 6 years ago, and they've made big moves over there. Jordan Dozzi is a big part of a lot of what Morgan Wallen does, and so we got in the room together, and honestly, this song just came about after just conversation together, and it kind of just grew organically, and as soon as we wrote it, I absolutely fell in love with it. So as soon as we got back to Australia, I was in the studio to bring it to life, and I'm just over the moon with the way that it's been received since it's been released.
Fair enough. That's look, I'm amazed by how many Aussies there are in Nashville at the moment. It's just amazing that like half the country seems to be there at the moment.
Yeah, no, you're right, and it was so great. Like, when before I left to go over there for the first time, there's a level of nerves that were, prevalent as I was going into a new community and all those type of things. But as you said, there are so many Australians over there, but even the Americans, like, they just welcome us with open arms and are so willing to have additions to their community over there too. So it's a really great environment.
I'm sure it is. I'd love to get there sometime. I really would. It's certainly on my bucket list, but I just can't afford it at the moment. But anyway, you never know what the future holds. So maybe I will get there one day, and maybe you'll be there too, and we can have a little.
Absolutely.
We can have a little chat or whatever. Now, how long were you in the States?
Well, I was there for about 2.5 weeks the first time, and then I actually went back again in September. for more writing and to take some meetings and do all those good things. And so it's definitely starting to feel a bit like a second home.
Okay. I imagine it would, but it must be great, to be able to work with the level of talent that they do have in Nashville. Both imported from Aussie or New Zealand or wherever, and local. The people that actually live there, the Americans. It must be great to work with those folks.
Oh, absolutely. They're just a wealth of knowledge. It's just the community over there is just huge in comparison to Australia. And I think, with that comes a level of experience that you can only get through being part of such a big machine. And so for me, each time I've gone over there, it's just sort of been to be a sponge and learn from the industry professionals and learn from the artists and songwriters that have been a part of such big projects.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's I can only imagine what it must be like. But geez, I envy you. I really do. Going to Nashville for a start, and then being able to work with all these great people, really talented folks. So yeah, good stuff. Now I need to ask: is there an album in the works?
There is. I'm actually in the process of writing my debut album at the moment and recording it. I've been in the studio the past couple of weeks working on some of the tracks for the album, and I am just really excited about it. I can't spill any secrets just yet, but I'm over the moon with how they're turning out already. I feel like for me over the past 12 months especially, artistically I've done a lot of growing and kind of really honed in on the direction in which I want my music to go into, and I think that these next sort of cluster of songs in this first project of mine is going to be just very much mirroring that. And so I'm really, really, really excited for everyone to hear the new tracks.
Okay. So will that come out in the form of CDs or vinyl, or will it only be like digital stuff?
No, all of the above. It's going to be digital, vinyl, and we're going to have CDs as well. So it's going to be a big rollout.
Okay, excellent stuff. Later on this afternoon, when I remember, I will text you our mailing address here at the studio. If you could please send me a CD when it's released, I'd be most grateful. Because I don't have. I've only got a handful of your tracks in my playlist, and it's not enough. I need more. So I'm looking forward to an album coming out with Tyla Rodrigues all over it, and I'd love to get some of those tracks off that CD and put them in my playlist.
Absolutely.
So you'll get a bit more airplay that way. Nice. Where were we? What actually drew you to the music industry initially? I mean, why did you, or how did you wake up one day and say, I'm going to be a country music singer?
Well, I mean, actually, for me, music has always been a big, big part of my life. My dad is a musician, and he, I guess, passed down that love to me. And, my dad's side of the family were all very much involved in music and country music in particular. And so, for me, I had always loved it, and it was always a big part of me. But I went through school doing my nursing, and I was ready to leave and go to university to be a paramedic, but I actually, funnily enough, sort of fell into music through, I guess just it being a hobby, and then after that got in touch with a booking agency, and they sort of reached out in regards to filling a spot for a tour of 2 country artists, and, that was really my first go at being on a stage that wasn't at a school musical or something along those lines. So it was a very new experience for me, but I fell in love with it from there, and I guess I haven't looked back since.
Yeah, I get it. It's a different. It's an experience, and it's something that sort of gets into your blood, I guess.
Absolutely.
In a nice way, I might add.
Well, I definitely can't see myself doing anything else now. That's for sure.
Okay, yeah, I get that. I really do. But why country music? Of all the genres you could have chosen, to work in, why country? What influenced you to take on country music?
Well, I think, look, as I said, I mean, my dad and his side of the family were always very, very into their country music, and so I grew up
Okay.
listening to it, but also grew up listening to lots of soul music, R&B, all that sort of stuff. So I
Hmm.
think what drew me to country music and I guess kind of kept me there was the storytelling side of things. It's always been something I've really been attracted to, especially once I started songwriting myself.
Okay. Um, so, who do you look to, or who do you regard as being your main influences as a singer and a songwriter?
I think for me, some of my favorite artists that will always draw inspiration from is people like Vince Gill and Miranda Lambert. As I said, I think those artists who kind of have that old school traditional take on country music, especially from a songwriting side of things, I'll always be very, very inspired by them. In the way that they still choose to keep stories in their songs. I think that's the biggest thing for me as I'm going into this period of writing an album and everything too. It's just something that I hold very, very important, and so they are some of my biggest inspirations.
Okay. All right. That's a good answer. Um, so, I mean, you've done a lot of performing now to date, both here and in the States, I guess. What's your most memorable experience so far as a performer?
Ooh, that is a tough question. I feel like, and I have been privileged enough to play main stage of Tamworth Country Music Festival, Groundwater, all of the, I guess, really prestigious festivals. But one of my all-time highlights, I think, so far has been last year when I was doing my EP launch show tour across Melbourne, Sydney, and here in Brisbane. And we did a by the campfire session, and it was the full band, but we were in sort of a stripped back setup, a bit more like a bluegrassy setup situation. And
Okay.
we were out on the lawn at the Gem Hotel, which is one of the first venues that took me on when I first started performing. And we literally just we all sat out on the lawn. I got to share my new songs and the stories behind them, and that to date is one of my favorite moments and probably will be for a very long time. And I think the reason being is because it truly was just all about the music, and for me that's why I love it, right? It's writing music, it's telling the stories behind it, and just getting to play it to a crowd that are willing to listen and wanting to hear all of that too. And so that will always be held as a very, very special night in my heart.
Yeah, I understand that. And that's, again, a great answer. I love it. Um, now, uh, again, on that subject, what's your favourite thing about being a performer, about, getting up on stage in front of an audience and, playing your own music and seeing the feedback and all that sort of stuff? What's your favourite thing about that?
My favorite thing, hands down, is just seeing the way that you're able to connect to your audience. I mean, for me, music has always been more than just something you listen to. I connect when you're feeling sad, there's usually a song for it. When you're feeling happy, there's usually a song for it. And so for me, it definitely feels like a superpower and a privilege to write music and then in turn see how it can connect with people. I've got songs in my set that people cry to, and then songs in my set that people have a dance to and a laugh to and all those things. And I think for me, the ultimate, the best feeling out of all of that is just seeing that people can connect to that music. And sometimes you'll write a song and you might feel like, oh, might be a little bit niche. I think I'm the only person that's ever felt that way. And then you get out there and you perform these songs and it kind of gives you a reality check that is exactly what music is all about. It's supposed to help people feel less lonely in however they're feeling, good, bad, or otherwise. And so that is the best part of it all for me.
This is one of the reasons I like talking to you, right, Tyler, because you've got such really good answers.
Thank you.
I love it. It's just it's a great conversation, to have with someone who's as experienced and knowledgeable as yourself. So and talented, I might add.
Thank you.
So good stuff. Now here's a curly one, and I like to trip people up with this one sometimes because I'm evil by nature. Just ask my wife. If you could pick three people to be on stage with you, who would they be? Any three people, alive or dead?
Ooh, that is a good question. I mean, my mind is going straight to who are the people that I would love to perform with. And so for me, I already mentioned these two earlier, Vince Gill and Miranda Lambert, my absolute heroes in music. And
Right.
I think the last one I would love to add to that list is, I would say, Aretha Franklin. I absolutely love
Really?
her music. And and as I said earlier, I absolutely love that soul sort of music as well. And she's been a soundtrack to my life. So I think, if I had the opportunity, I would definitely bring her back to do that.
Wow. I would love to see her on stage with you, I tell you.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, of Aretha's. I've been listening to her music ever since I was, probably younger than you.
Yeah.
I'm a lot older.
Phenomenal.
I'm a lot older than that now. But she's a very talented woman. Great. And I loved seeing her in the Blues Brothers movie, the original one.
Yes, absolutely.
She played such a good part in that one. I loved it.
Absolutely.
Oh dear. But yeah, what a talented woman. Yeah, look, that's. I'd love to be on stage with her any day. So yeah, that's another great answer. All right, so let's. You've been doing this now. You're young and you're still sort of, but you've done a lot. You've done a lot in the years that you've been doing it, doing what you're doing. So I'm going to ask, what advice would you have for someone who's just starting out in country music?
Yeah, my biggest piece of advice, I mean, I feel really lucky to have recently been a mentor at a songwriters camp, and I got to, I guess, mentor and give this advice to new artists that were starting in their songwriting journey or artist journey, full stop.
Okay.
And I think the biggest piece of advice that I wanted to give, but also that I felt was necessary after meeting with them, was the fact that it is so important, I think, to know the story you want to tell and stand by it and not worry about, it's very easy, especially when you're getting into the music industry. It's very easy. People will tell you, if you do this, that'll get you on the radio hits. If you do this, that'll get you a charting song. Or try this, that might make you more popular. But through my experience and what I've seen, people love a genuine person. And I think that will always be the biggest piece of advice that I want to hand down to anyone starting out or getting into the music industry. Is it's very easy to just confine to what you think is going to do good for you or what you think is going to make you bigger or better or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you're not being your authentic self or pushing the story that you want to push, I don't think that, you'll ever be content with what you're doing either. So that's my biggest piece of advice, is stick to your guns and stick to your truth, and remember that at the end of the day, being an artist isn't about painting the same picture as the next person. It's about painting your own picture.
That's excellent advice, and if I've ever heard better advice, I can't remember when. But that's
Thank you.
That is a good bit of guidance for people who are just starting out, I think. Anyway, in my opinion. So yeah, well said.
Thank you.
Now we're almost out of time, so just quickly, could you tell us what's next for you? You've got the album coming up, and you've got, Tamworth and all this other stuff happening. But just quickly go through what you've got coming up, in the way of gigs, festivals, tours.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first thing comes to mind is Tamworth will be right around the corner on the 21st of January. I'm putting on my first ever show at Tamworth.
Excellent.
So it's going to be a big one. Then after that, we have what comes to mind, Howland Festival, which is in Newcastle. Lainey Wilson is the headliner, so I'm so, so excited for that show.
Wow.
And then after that will come CMC Rock, so it's going to be a big start to the year. And then, as I said, I'll probably be back in the studio after that, getting ready for the album release. So it's set to be a big, big year next year, and I cannot wait to hopefully see yourself and some others at the shows too.
Oh, that'd be great. I would, that's on top of my bucket list, right, Tyler? Why do I keep calling you Riley? I don't know. I'm getting tongue-tied here, sorry. Yeah, I'm not having the best day. Yeah, look, that's great. I'm glad to hear that things are going so well for you. You deserve all the success you can get as far as I'm concerned. You put a lot of work into it, I know, and, it's great to see you get something back and being rewarded for it, so... look, keep it up. You're doing so well. And thank you so much for taking the time to have this chat with me on your Sunday afternoon. I do appreciate it very, very much. So, thank you, Tyler.
No, thank you, and thank you for taking the time to have a chat with me. It's always appreciated and always a great time. So I look forward to hopefully catching up with you in person soon, if not chatting before then.
Okay, and in the meantime, have yourself a great Christmas and New Year. And all the best to you and everyone you love. Be careful, take care, but have a good time. And we'll talk to you again next year, I guess.
And you too. Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome, and it's something I look forward to. So, yeah, have a good one, Tyler. All the best to you.
Thank you. And you. Take care.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.